How do you fully integrate into any society? Having local friends is important. Building a social network is important. I'm saying you definitely need to, learn some of the local customs and culture.
When a Luo man marries a Kikuyu, that is political.
When I was in Kenya, I used to wear tank tops. I remember going through the door in my tank top and literally remember, I heard that tank top is not allowed in Kenya. And I take a U-turn and I went back home and I changed. Guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Drew Williams. And if you know anything about me, you'd have known that I've spent 3 months in Nairobi, Kenya.
Let's talk.
How do you fully integrate into any society? Or how do you integrate into Kenyan society? What's the best way to do it? To fully integrate into Kenya, guys, you need to navigate the legal processes. You need to know, what's the paperwork to do this, or what paperwork you need to do that. You need to do your homework. The next thing I think you need to do is to embrace the Kenyan culture, right? When I say culture, every country have a culture and a way of doing things. And that's what makes us different. Even though we are all humans, culture is what separates us. In Norway, they have a different culture from America. In Kenya, they have a different culture from in Nigeria. Even though they are similar in a lot of ways, but they are still different. And people have different customs, you know what I'm saying? So you have to respect the customs and the culture, okay? And this include like the language, you have to at least try to learn a little bit of Swahili. And I think learning a little bit of Swahili can show people that you're actually really interested in actually being, African, actually joining society, you know what I'm saying? Because you never really get to know people until you speak the language. People without their language and customs are literally lost. When foreigners come over and take over your country, invade your country and give you a different language to speak, guys, it literally takes your soul out of you. So I think to fully integrate to a country, you need to learn the language and the local customs and, show a lot of respect for them. You know what I'm saying, guys? Another thing, guys, I think you need to be involved in a lot of cultural and social activities in the communities. You don't have to get involved in everything, but get involved in something, guys. You don't want to be in a country and you just totally, for example, you leave the West and you're still totally involved in the West. You're not committed none of your time and your effort to learn anything about Kenya. You know what I'm saying? You definitely need to, learn some of the local customs and culture. It's very important, guys, because, something that means one thing in one country can mean something in another country. So you definitely need to learn some of the customs and cultures, right, to fully integrate. You need to respect the local customs, understanding and respecting Kenyan culture, traditions and social norms, essential for a positive integration, You dig what I'm saying, guys? It's pretty straightforward. A lot of people go to people's country and they try to break the rules and bring their ways. When you go to Rome, you do what the Romans do. You know what I'm saying? Or even pretend. You know what I'm saying? But don't go there and, for example, you go to some country and they don't like women dressed in a certain way. Don't dress like that. When I was in Kenya, I used to wear tank tops. I remember going through the door in my tank top and literally remember, I heard that tank top is not allowed in Kenya. And I take a U-turn and I went back home and I changed. And then I asked people on the road, can I wear my tank top? And they're like, yeah, fine. And I asked most people and they said, it's fine. I read about it. It said it wasn't okay, but I respect it so much that I turned around and went home and I changed. And then I asked my viewers and the subscribers, and they say it was fine. I could. So I try to show respect to the culture. When you're integrating, guys, it's good to engage in community activities, participating in community events, social gathering, and cultural activities will help build relationships and foster a sense of belonging, guys. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to go to a country and, you're always an outsider, you have to participate in the local customs and engage with the people. You know what I'm saying, guys? As I said, for me personally, this might not be a lot, but I haven't spent a lot of time in Kenya. I spent 3 months. To some people it's long, to some people it's short. But I've literally rode on the bus with the people. sit down and have conversation with a lot of Kenyans all the time, guys, all the time. And I'm not talking about people I know a long time. I'm talking about people who I just met. I might ask them their opinions on different things. I'm saying? I hang out with them, guys. I want to be involved. I don't want to be like hang out with my Jamaican friends all the time because, we're Jamaicans. We go to a new country. You want to learn something, and the only way you're going to learn is to learn from the people who actually live in the country that you go to live it or to visit. You know what I'm saying? So, for me, even taking a bus ride and riding with the local people was for me was part of integrating in the culture. May not seem like a lot to you, but to me it means a lot. Another thing, guys, if you can create employment, I don't think a lot of us in the West, we are going to Africa to find jobs. We're going to create jobs, guys. Africa are waiting its creators. And don't get it twisted. No disrespect. Kenya is doing fine without us, but I think he can do better with us. Because, if someone take you to somewhere else and by force or whatever, but yet still you learn something new, you could bring it to where you're from. You could bring all the good skills you have. And there's a lot of good skills African Americans have in the West. We wish we can share with our African brothers and sisters and improve things. Improve things a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Kenya is doing fine though, don't get it twisted. But there's always room for improvement in every country, and even in America. American infrastructure is falling apart, guys. It's literally a dinosaur. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, we can always improve, our society. And guys, another thing, guys, when you go to Africa or Kenya, Kenyans are very quiet by nature, guys. You don't hear anybody screaming and shouting on the street. Know how to behave yourself. Don't go there with being loud and vulgar and arguing and cussing on the street, guys. Respect the people's culture. They're not used to that kind of stuff, guys. You know what I'm saying? And for ladies, dress modest, dress modest as well. Don't go too crazy. People will definitely stare at you if you dress very, very outlandish and, very over-sexual. You don't want to do that in Nairobi, Kenya. It's not a Muslim country, but you don't want to do that, guys. Yeah, respect the people there. Another thing, when you go to the nightclubs, behave yourself. If you have a problem with somebody, go speak to the security. Don't start a fight. You know what I'm saying? I've been in the clubs in Nairobi, Kenya for 3 months. I don't see anybody fighting. I don't see anybody arguing. I've been on the streets. I haven't seen anybody fighting. I haven't seen anybody arguing. You know what I'm saying? People are very respectful. People seem to can work out their problems. Not like in America. You know what I'm saying? People are very emotional. People start to fight for everything. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people go with their mama alone. They haven't go with no father. I go with my mom alone. You know what I'm saying? But for some reason, I can control my emotions when I'm out. I don't really jump to fight with people. You know what I mean? I only fight if I need to. Guys, another thing, guys, you have to build a social network, guys. You know what I'm saying? You can't go to a country and just be by yourself. You know what I'm saying? You and your money. You know what I'm saying? Money can help you when you need human help. You know what I'm saying? Like if you fall over, sometimes, it's not like America where you can press 911 and there's an ambulance turning up to you. You might not get that in Nairobi, Kenya, guys. You know what I'm saying? You might have to knock on your neighbor, or call your friend for help. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to build a social network, guys. Talk to people who you can trust. Learn to gather some friends. You don't have to have a million friends, but having local friends is important. Building a social network is important, guys. It is important for a lot of things, guys. It's important for your mental health. And I guarantee you, guys, you won't have a big problem with your mental health in Africa, guys. I promise you, guys. It's not like the West, guys. It's less stress. You know what I'm saying? To fully integrate, guys, you go to a country, you learn its customs, its traditions, you speak the language, you learn to speak the language. You will never get it perfect because the older you are, it's going to take you longer. It's easier for kids to learn new language, but you know what I'm saying? You can always learn. Doesn't matter how old you are. Respect the people, dress right, act right. As I said, Kenyans are very soft-spoken, very quiet. And when you integrate, you have to find the right paperwork, to get things done the right way, whether you're going to get married or whether you're going to set up business, I am not a professional in this topic. I am just giving my 2 cents, my opinion, on how to fully integrate. Never go to a new country and just be all by yourself with your money. learn to have a social network. Okay, guys? Respect the local customs and norms. I'm out for now. Stay blessed. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'm out. Boop.